Hi guys, DK here. Today I'm going to be taking you through how to save and load UI state to your Rhino document using the save and load tools within DKUI. So to that end, I have this little bit of code here where I've got a sphere being created in our Rhino document, and I can change the size of that sphere and change its color using RGB colors. Of course, we do actually have a color picker in Rhino UI, but this just gives really fast feedback on if we're changing things within the if we've changed things within the UI. So I'm going to take this back to around about DKUI orange. And I've also set up these two buttons, Save to Rhino Doc and Load from Rhino Doc, and those are actually being fed into a horizontal component. And they have some alignment details put against them. These I'll cover in a more detailed going over of the actual button controls and the start of the layout controls for DKUI. But for this purpose, we just have a nicely built little UI here, which allows us to do some changes. Now, what I'll do is now come up to our page server, and there is a trig output, as in trigger output from our page server component, and we're going to use that as a trigger to actually save the state of our UI. So, or at least get the state of our UI. So the first item to put down is the DKUI DKUI state component. Now, if I connect that up to a trigger and then attach two panels here, keys and values, we can see we've got 7, this is actually found 7 DKUI components on the, or 8 DKUI components on the Grasshopper canvas, and these are the values that are associated with these 8 controls. So these are our key value pairs, and those are simply generated from each one of these panels with the DK underscore suffix as the nickname here. This is the key, and this is the value. So there's nothing particularly complicated about it, and that's how we can keep track of our state. Now, to save that to the document, what I'm going to do is get the right DKUI state to Rhino Doc. So I'm going to pull these two panels down out of our way, and we've got 3 inputs here. We have values, we have keys, and we have this right input. So for that, I'm going to go save to Rhino Doc. I've got this boolean here. I'm just going to copy this, connect it up, cut it, and I'll bring it back over and paste in center. So now we have this boolean control. I'm going to hook it up to right, and then if I'm just going to open the document user text panel here. To make this to view this, you may need to right button click on your panels component and come down to and highlight user document text. But this is this is a display inside of Rhino that displays user object text that is actually embedded within the Rhino document. So if I press save to Rhino Doc here, we can now see that those values have been updated inside the UI. And we can now quite easily we can save that. We can save this to our desktop. We'll call it 250607, and we'll call it DKUI save to doc test. Now if I will let that save off, now I can go new and small object millimeters, and those key value pairs have now all disappeared because we've created a we're now in a completely new document. But if I go file, open, and open that original, we now have we now have that data has come back in with this when we've opened the document. So we now have that data there, and what we can do, and we can show that this is, let's say I turn the red all the way down, and if I press save to Rhino Doc, we can see our green, our red was at 255, and now if I've updated, that's gone to 0, and I can take this back up, and you can see as we change it, we can save it into these key value pairs. So now what we need to do is look at how can we get that information back out and get it into our DKUI. So I'm going to go to I'm going to pull up a read DKUI state from Rhino Document. I'm just going to pull this in here, and same again, I'm going to grab these two panels and I'm going to connect them up, and we've got there is nothing there. If I grab a Boolean toggle and connect it up, I can trigger a read, and now that's read all of that data from the from our Rhino document. So now that we have that, though, we need what we need to do is write that or load that up into our UI. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put these onto alter 0. But we actually still retain these values here, and we can see we can still retain those values there. I'm going to pull down a load DKUI state, and I'm going to plug in the values. I'm going to plug in the keys, and we need a Boolean input here. So same again, I'm going to grab this, what's on the previous, and load from doc. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to connect it up to the read, and I'm going to connect it up to the load, because we want to what we want to do is refresh these keys to the latest information and load it up to our UI. So if I now press load from Rhino Doc, there we have it. We're completely updated with the new information, and so we can play around with all of these. We can go completely to white, and again load the saved information back up from the Rhino Doc. So there we have it, guys. That's really quite simple, and allows you to store and reload DKUI state, which for all intents and purposes is the state of your Grasshopper, directly from or save it into and reload directly from your Rhino document. As always, if you have any questions, you feel free to leave those in the comment section below, or you can track me down on the Rhino discourse. I'm known on there as Kiteboard Shaper. And if you'd like to contribute to the cause of development with DKUI, and you're finding it useful in your own workflow. All you have to do is click on Buy Dave a Beer in the DKUI menu and drop that anywhere onto the canvas. That will load up a PayPal page where you feel free. You can put any donation you would like into this box here, and all donations to the cause are greatly appreciated and certainly help with motivation to keep development of this UI platform. Thank you very much.